Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is me, Tracy Bryan, Tracy, the Sacred CEO, and I am coming live in our Rebirth Collective community. Hello, butterflies. We have an amazing, amazing treat for you today. We are going to share our divorced and empowered segment. I am going to be met with Zokai, the priestess, and she's going to discuss how her marriage and her divorce awakened her to parts of herself where she has included and incorporated beauty along her healing. So I want to welcome Zakai, the priestess. I have just added her, and this is going to be an amazing, amazing discussion. And I'm so happy she's here. I came in contact with her through another sister who is part of my Coochie Church group. And it says no answer from live guests. No. Okay, let's adding. Bring them on video. There we go. There we go.
We did it. We did it.
Yes. Let me turn this all the way up. Yes. Do you have your volume all the way up? Got it.
It's doing the thing,
Baby.
okay? My whole block, the grocery stores, Publix, that whole thing is out. The lights are out. Everything is out. Our Wi-Fi is out. So that's why I'm in my car, because I have Wi-Fi in the car, because in the house it's out. I don't know what's happening, but I'm like, whatever. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. It's going to happen.
I was just saying that before you came on, that technology has been something. Like yesterday, I had a whole 2-hour experience trying to get a bill paid. Like,
oh my gosh.
girl, when I tell you I was under so much stress yesterday morning, but I
bet.
handled it like a G.
Because that's what we do. That's what we do. This
I
journey
handled
has taught us that, right? How to, if
it.
we can't do nothing else, we
And
can do that.
it's interesting because I looked up at I looked up and I said to my spirit team, I said, "Oh, y'all got jokes today. Y'all got jokes today, baby, because y'all sending your girl on a hamster wheel. I'm going in a circle here. So yeah,
Yeah.
technology right now. But my friend did tell me, she said, Mercury retrograde is in Leo, and I was like, oh wow. So we're in a Mercury retrograde right now. You know that affects all
All the
technology. So
technology,
I found that to be something,
communication.
especially with me being a Leo. I was like, oh, no
Mhm.
wonder I'm getting hit so hard.
Yeah, for sure. It
Yeah. So
happens.
Zakai, tell everybody who you are. Me and you had
Okay.
the beautiful experience of meeting last week
Yes.
and speaking for
Yes.
about 2 hours. And I just found you so fascinating. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank
joining
you.
our Rebirth Collective community. I'm really looking to grow this group and also to become more present. I do lives once a week. I share meditations. I share about my own personal
Mm.
journey, healing and recovering from divorce. I can feel his energy trying to hold on. I said, I'm finna put on some Cardi B, some Meg the Stallion, or some Glorilla, and I'm finna shake this ass. No longer be under contract, baby.
Okay, I know
Honey,
that's right. I don't blame you. And we all gonna shake it with you as soon as you let us know, okay?
thank
Um
you. Thank you. Tell everybody who you are.
Yes, I'm Zokai, Priestess Zokai. And what I do is I help guide women who have divorced or gone through a heartbreak, like, that in between phase when you're not quite who you used to be, but you're definitely not who you're trying to become. So I help women guide them through that period. And I do that through Beauty First. Because I believe, when you look better, you heal better. That's my philosophy. So I do everything from the outside in, where most philosophies is, oh, we're going to heal from the inside out. But I think it's more effective to do it from the outside in. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And like you, we talked about it the other day. I've gone through a divorce where I was ready. I'm like, here, take all your stuff back, your energy, your name, your this, your that, everything. And that brother held on for 3 years. So when I tell you I understand and I get it, I get it. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna twerk right along with you when the day comes because I understand what that feels like. It's like, get me out of purgatory, okay? You've held me hostage long enough. Let's get this thing done because there's things that we need to do on the other side, and we don't need that energy, them still trying to attach to us and cipher from us. Like, we don't need that still going on. So I understand.
And I feel that that's exactly what it is. It's the siphoning and still wanting to harness my energy. By
Yes.
not all letting me go all the way, he still feels some type of access to that
Mm-hmm.
fertile energy that I
Mm-hmm.
carry as feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I know that's what it is because really and truly, they know who we are. They understand many times our energy more than we do. Let's talk a little
Yes.
bit about that.
That's the truth. They understand it. They see it before we do. They know it before we do. Sometimes we don't ever figure it out, but they know it quite well. And that's why they choose us. And when you are looking for a partner, that's something that now moving forward in the future, I'm going to pay attention to that. Why are you choosing me? And can you bring the same things that I'm bringing energetically? We know they really can't for real, but you got to pick the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Because they're never going to be able to match it 100% because it's not capable for them. It's not in their DNA to, right? But they know who's going to be able to carry them energetically, who's going to be able to get them to the next level. My ex, he was always in the entertainment industry, and before he got to that point, I was that force behind him, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I will tell anybody on any given Sunday, he is who he is because of me. He's on billboards, he's in movies, he's all the things. And that's because of my energy. But when we were in it, I didn't know that at the time, you know? It wasn't until I had to go through what I call my basement experience after I left him that I recognized the power that I have within myself and the energy that I carry. I'm a force. I'm a shifter. I shift atmospheres, I shift people. And so they know that, and that's what they want.
Oh, girl, you said some powerful stuff. You said I didn't know that until so you understood basically who you were once you left.
Yes.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
so powerful. Because see, while in it, we can't see it. Because there's so many clouds. There's so much fog. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We're in
for
the
sure.
emotional experience. We're in the mental experience. And there's a lot of times no clarity in that.
Mm-hmm.
We just know something ain't right. We know
Right.
something is off. We know we're not happy. We know
Yes.
there's better than this. We don't know exactly what, but we know just something is off here. I
Mm-hmm.
am not aligned.
Yes. Correct.
Let's go into when that shift happened for you because divorce and empowered conversations, that's basically what we discuss when the awakening happened. And usually, like you said, it happened after you left. So what are some of the things you learned in your marriage about yourself? And then what did
Mhm.
you really come into contact with once you left?
Okay, so in my marriage, what I learned was while I was still there inside of it, I learned that I am resistant and probably too resistant. Like I not there, I'm thinking maybe there's no such thing as resistant, but I learned that I would resist certain things that didn't feel good. That was my natural reaction, was to rebel, right? But they teach you, especially if you're in the church, you got to submit. You got to do da 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 da. So in my marriage, I learned I'm not the submissive type because this isn't making sense. I'm submitting to what exactly is something weird going on here, right? I learned during that marriage that I was resilient. And I don't know if that's always a good thing when you're in an energetic bond that you should not be in. Because that means you are building up your capacity to deal with bullshit and nonsense. And I learned that in that marriage. But what I also learned was I was multi-talented in so many different ways that we don't give ourselves for being credit for. I was managing the house. I had the babies. I was helping him do his things. I kept everything together. I did it all. So I learned bitch, I'm superwoman. Okay. But it wasn't until after we got divorced that I really understood what it was supposed to look like in a healthy way, how my gifts and my talents are supposed to be used, and how transformation is supposed to look when it's aligned with the right people that I'm supposed to be on assignment to help transform, not somebody that was taking it from me. And so after the divorce, I had my aha moment. I was in my parents' basement and I couldn't believe it. I was like, how the hell did I end up in the damn basement? Okay, of all places. And I was looking in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. I was like, who is this girl? Because before him, I was bad. I was always bad. Hair, face, makeup, clothes, body, everything banging. And I was looking in that mirror and I looked a damn mess. And I was like, oh no, we got to change this. And so what I learned was my beauty is my power, is my weapon, and is my gift. And he didn't allow me to see that when we were together. That's actually the part of me, that light about me, that he tried to pull out every chance he could get. He hated it. He still hated it, but it is what it is now. Can't put it out no more. But those are some of the things that I've really learned. And it was like, you have to, whatever your thing is, you have to make sure that you understand what it is, how it is, and who it is, right? Because before him, I knew, I could do hair, I could do makeup, I went to school, got the license, da 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 da, whatever. But he made me feel like all of those things was wrong. And so you got to pay attention to people who make you feel like what you know is your God-given gift, your spirit-given, divine-given gift. When they start to use that against you, that's a an alarm going off for me. Like, wait a minute, this is all the shit that you loved about me, now you hate it, now it's wrong or it's bad or it's off. And so when I was going through that basement moment, it was like, no, this is the thing that you were given, not only for yourself, but to help edify others. He wanted it to be wrong because he couldn't handle it. He couldn't contain it. That was the part of you he couldn't control. And so now, after that, the awakening is, use it like you ain't never used it before and go as hard as you can. Be resilient in doing that, and that's where you get your revenge, and that's where you get your glow up and all of the things. Okay, I'm about to go down the rabbit hole. So, yeah.
Girl, you said it, baby. Let me tell you something. You said that was the thing he could not control. That's why that part of you was being attacked,
Yes.
because he could not control it. And that's what they look for, especially with this patriarchy. We are being married into a patriarchal system. We are being
Mm-hmm.
raised and conditioned and programmed in a
Yes.
patriarchal system that benefits men. You see what I'm saying? So in that, they are always looking to conquer and control and capitalize the three
Yes.
C's. You know what I'm saying?
Capitalize for sure.
Conquer, control, and capitalize. And the very thing he could not control is what he wanted to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's the war that goes on with them. The thing
Right.
they cannot conquer, control, and capitalize on, they will go at war with to destroy it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
And so I'm so glad that you was able to see that, because there are so many of our other women and sisters out there that's very wrapped up in that patriarchal conditioning and program, that they
Mm-hmm.
can't
Oh, yeah.
see that they are being destroyed, even though
Yeah.
they know in their gut that something isn't right and they are not aligned. They are still going to feed that program because they need
Mm-hmm.
to be accepted in
Yes.
this society, in
Mm-hmm.
how it's supposed to look. And the religion's a whole nother layer that keep you trapped, bound. It says it's supposed to free you.
For
You
you.
more bound
Yes.
through religion than being freed. So let's talk a little bit about that. How was you able to release yourself from the layers of religion? Because you did speak about that.
So, yes, and it's very interesting because my parents are pastors. And so, I grew up in the church, and that was my foundation and my safety net, right?
Yes.
And how I became released from that was I felt like God had kicked me out. I was calling on Jesus. He went on the main line. And I was like, this is what y'all told me to do. Y'all told me to pray.
Wait a minute, girl. You told me the other day, you say Jesus was out on a vacation or something. You said,
He took that day off. That week, that month, he was like, I'm out of office. Y'all figure it out. I ain't helping nobody do shit, okay? At least for me.
okay.
Cause I was like, Lord, Jesus, God, what is going on?
Where you
No
at?
help, no answer, no nothing. And I'm like, damn, I'm doing all the things. Y'all told me to pray. Y'all told me to read my Bible. You told me to pray and worship and praise and all this. And I'm doing this. And what the fuck is happening? More shit I don't want. And so it was in that moment that I was like, nope, this man ain't it. This religion ain't it. And I got to do something different. Now, when I was a little girl, I've always talked to the dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was told that was evil. Those weren't the real people that I was seeing. That was, a
Those
trickster spirit.
ancestors.
Yeah, my ancestors. I'm like, so you mean to tell me grandma is now evil? This don't make no damn sense, but okay. Um, so I was like, let me go back to that because at least they was talking back to me
Mm-hmm.
versus this God and who knows where who really don't sound too loving to me if we're going to keep it real. So I'm not sure why I'm going to him anyway. And I'm going to another man about a man that he created, but that's a whole nother other subject, right?
That's a whole nother episode, girl.
A whole nother episode. And so I was like, let me go over here. Let me do all the things that they told me not to do. Let me see if those things work.
Mm.
So I started meditating. I started talking to my ancestors. And I realized very quickly some things are moving, some things are shaking. Because during that time, he didn't want to sign those papers either. And I was like, I got to get up out of here. Y'all got to do something. Something has to happen. And the more I started doing that and working on my visualizations, I started to see something shake and break. And I was like, this it. I'm done. Y'all done made a believer out of me, and y'all let Jesus know whenever he come back. Your girl is over here with the ancestors. And so that's how that looked for me. Now, I still understand um some of the principles that religion taught me, and I still use that even in my spirituality because a principle is a principle. A universal law is a universal law. I just
Mhm.
understand how it really works and the truth behind it now.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So let's go in. You said beauty is what helped to heal you. And
Yes.
that you realize that that was your gift. That was the thing that the enemy came to destroy. And
Hmm.
once you figured that out, you heightened it times 10, times 100, right? So let's talk about some beauty rituals
Hmm.
and
Yes.
regimens, with you being the priestess, that help to heal you so that our sisters can that may feel extremely depressed or extremely low or no longer feel beautiful, because
Hmm.
a breakup, heartbreak, a divorce can make you feel not so pretty. You no longer feel
Yes.
beautiful. You no longer feel sensual. You no longer feel sexy. You
Yeah.
know, it really plays on your confidence. So, can you
100%.
give us some things that you did, some rituals and regimens that can
Yeah.
maybe help another sister coming out?
Absolutely. So well, first, let me say this. A ritual really is anything that you do on a consistent basis. Us brushing our teeth every day, that's a ritual. So sometimes, we make things too woo woo,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I don't know if I should be, how people get weird about shit. But for me, one of the best ways that I came up out of that was taking a bath. And at first, it was just me in the bath and crying and acting a fool, right? But then once I added intention into the bath and I started lighting candles, not even really fully understanding what I was doing at the moment, but that helped me get out that funk because water is going to wash away. It's going to clean, right? And so when you're feeling low, get in the bath and set your intention for the negativity to be released, for the heaviness to go down the drain, literally take it down there with you. And then when you come back out of the bath, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel clean. You're going to
What's some
feel,
things you added
brighter.
to the bath?
So I always add a little bit of olive oil, sometimes milk, depending on, but when I'm feeling heavy, citrus fruits. So the lemons, the oranges. When I need to feel beautiful, some apples. During that time, I always had salt because my mom kept salt.
Mhm.
Salt and trying to think, that was a long time ago. What else did I put in there? Salt, the olive oil. I feel like it was one more thing, but it's not coming to me right now. But if it
Okay.
rose
Okay.
flowers. That's what it was. I would put some flowers in there only because I saw it on TV. I didn't even understand at the time what I was doing, but now I know roses are going to raise your vibrations.
Yes.
Okay. So
And
always
they're a
salt. If you
flower of
don't,
love.
a flower of love, and
Yes.
we at what we need most is self-love during that period, right? More self-love, so we never find ourselves in that space again mentally. We may physically go through another divorce, but it won't take us down through it like that first one.
Hmm.
So you take your bath and you're in there and you're praying, you're setting your intention, you get out, you air dry, and the next ritual is oiling your body, oiling your skin. You can use any oil and add like an essential oil to it because that's going to also, lift your mood up. Some lavender, rosemary is really, really good, especially if you're really depressed.
Hmm.
So the rosemary, chamomile, but while you're oiling, you're not just making sure you're getting the ash away. Your intention is to reconnect to what feels good. Because when we touch ourselves, it sends the signal to our brain that we're safe. This is safe. And then it opens up what's pleasurable now. So you can go either way with it. You can go feeling safe or you can go into your sensual side. Either way, whatever the intention is. In the morning, it could be to feel safe. At night, it could be sensuality. It just depends on whatever your intention is. And then once you get dressed, this is my secret weapon for everything. Put on a red lip. You don't even have to put any intention to it. Just put it on. And you're going to see people around you change. You gonna change. You gonna look in the mirror. You're gonna be like, wait a minute. Okay.
And you know what?
Your
I be
girl is
putting on a
back.
red lip, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm such a I'm such a bright woman. When I put on a red lip, I'm like, whoa, it's almost shocking because I'm so bright. And it's shocking. And I look and I
Mm-hmm.
be like, no, that's too much. And I take it off. And as you can see, I kind of do like nudes and browns and I kind of like a light lip.
Mm-hmm.
But when I put on a red lip, it's like it's shocking. But I feel like I need to do that and put on red altogether. I'm feeling this red central fire right about now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's
Do
go with
it.
that red.
Do it. If you put on that red and you do a red monochrome and you do a red blush and a red, listen, walking fire goddess is what's going to
Woo.
happen. And you're
And
telling
opening
your
up
brain,
that sacral chakra, that
yes,
open up that root. You opening that
right.
sensuality, and that's where the survival energy comes from. The
Mm-hmm.
survival energy, the safe energy is there in that root. So I could put that together. I could connect that.
Yeah. And we need to reprogram our nervous system. When you've gone through something traumatic like a divorce or a heartbreak, a deep heartbreak, your nervous system is jacked.
Yeah.
So we got to, reprogram it, and creating a shock to it first opens up, and then you can start, the other things. So when we look in the mirror and we see ourselves, this is why affirmations don't always work, because we're saying something that we can't see. But when you put on a red lip and you look in the mirror, now you definitely see, oh, I look different. I'm not the same person, right?
Mm.
And that's the goal, because we don't want to be the person that's sad and depressed and crying. We're becoming the next version of ourselves.
You just said something very powerful. You said a lot of times affirmations do not work because you can't see So what I just heard is faith without works is dead. So what you just did is you activated with the red lip, and the sight
Activation.
of being able to see it is what activated the whole intention of it. That
Yes.
yes, I get it. It's the connection of the two. Come through, Zakai.
Yes, yes, yes. And then when you go outside, now you're starting your transformation in your mind already. So now when you go outside, pay attention. This is a little challenge for everybody. Pay attention to how you're walking, how you're talking. I guarantee you it's different. You're not going to be like this. You're going to be like, because now you know you're activated, like you said, period. And everybody around you is going to respond to you differently. It
Yes.
is so, it's magical, but it's science at the same time. And maybe magic is just science. However, I know it works. Whichever route we want to go with it, it works. And it makes you feel so, 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 so good. So those are the main rituals that help me get through and that I still do. I still do it. I love a red lip.
Oh my goodness. So I hope y'all heard that. That's just a little portion of what Sakai has offered us for those of us recovering from heartbreak and divorce and need something to build our confidence back up. Because
Mhm.
you know, before you met that person, man or woman, honey, you was that bad bitch. You was feeling all of yourself and you had your resources and your shit in order.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
then we go through this relationship, which is actually a mirror phase in our life, to where we need to look at ourselves and see where we are lacking,
Hmm.
where we need to raise up. I heard Zakai say she needed to raise up in her strength and her belief in being that one, in being her sexy, beautiful self. And you know, it's harsh as these heartbreaks are, the experience of divorce and the experience of being mistreated and misused. If you know, yes, as hard as that is and as unfair as it is, once you come into the divine design of why you needed to really go through that,
Hmm.
baby, and you come face to face with yourself, baby, can't nothing stop you after that. Because I can guarantee
Nothing.
you can't now, never come behind with this man and do nothing, none of the above, right?
Nothing. Nothing. And let me tell you, it's so funny that you said that because myself, I done went out and I had to got married again, right? And so we going through the thing, we weren't even married a year. And I started noticing some things because I said, I'm never going to allow what happened that first time happen again. And I woke up and I was like, I'm not doing this with you. This is over. We're getting a divorce. I'm going to give you 30 days to get yourself together and find you someplace to go. We're done. And he was like, what the hell? You just woke up? Listen, I decided that first time around, I will not live the second half of my life the way I lived that first half. And you are not meeting the requirements. I am not happy, whatever. And
Mm-hmm,
I just made the decision
mm-hmm.
because I refuse. Nobody gonna get me down to that basement again. Now you might send me to the door. I may even be on the steps, but I ain't going back down there. So one or two things have to happen. Either you gotta go, right? Or you gotta go. That's it.
That's it.
Because
Those
yeah,
are two alternatives, them two
you gotta
choices. That's
go
it.
or you gotta go. And you can choose how you leave. You can leave or I could push your ass out. Okay? Because I done spent a lot of time with the ancestors and the spirit team now. So
Oh
now I
yeah,
know. I ain't worried about calling on
yeah,
Jesus. I'm gonna get your ass out of here one way or the other. You can
yeah.
choose your route.
I had to leave for the protection of myself and him, because I seen, you know, he I seen a body bag situation happening,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh hell no, I can't let this take me there.
exactly. Exactly.
Also want you to tell them what offerings you have and how they can find you, so that you can also help them to remember and restore their confidence back to the bad bitch status, the beauty, the bad ass they
Yes.
was before all of the heartbreak.
Yes, yes. Okay. So basically, beauty set me free. That's what got me back, got me out of it. And the rituals, my beauty rituals, carried me through, and it helped me birth the Badass Sanctum, which is my private society for women who are in that in-between space and needing guidance to get to point A to point B to become the bad bitches that we once were and that we know we are, right? And so right now, I'm really excited because I'm wrapping up my first book under the Priestess Zokai name, and it's called Beauty and Brujeria, and I'm giving it complimentary to everyone. You can go to my website at it's badassuniverse.com, and then you can get on the list to receive that free gift. And you can find me on YouTube at The Badass Sanctum on YouTube every night at 7 p.m. I go live Monday through Friday over there. And then inside of one of my communities is where you find me.
Thank you, Sakai, the priestess, for coming and sharing your divine experience with us and being so vulnerable, transparent, and also sharing your gift of beauty and letting us know that there are more, there's more ways to heal, especially coming out, from feeling like you've been dragged through a heartbreak or a divorce.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. You are always a joy to speak to. And I am so grateful that you have this community and your platform, because one thing that we do need, especially when we're going through these moments, is we need community. We need our sister friends who understand and know what it's like to go through, and then to see somebody go through on the other side. Sometimes that's all we need too. So I'm very grateful and honored to be here today.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings.
Thank
Remember,
you.
a divorce and empowerment is for you. You can recover and rejoice and restore after heartbreak and divorce. It is your inherited birthright to find joy, increase your joy, and be happy, fertile, and abundant, baby. All right, I
Yes,
love you.
yes.
Tracy, the
Love you
Sacred
too.
CEO here. Peace. Are you ready to turn your mess into magic? Slide on over to the Rebirth Collective on Facebook. It's our exclusive community for healing and empowerment for women who are divorced and over 40 and deserve that post-divorce glow. You're not alone. You are just getting started. Let's rise together. Join us today.